Hello? Oh, it always starts like this with my computer freaking out because my computer is a tiny little laptop. But yeah, I'm here again on the same week. How unlikely, right? But whoa, maybe I should. Whoa, camera. Okay. I'm so short. Oh, it's because my chair is lower than usual. It used to be high. Oh, no, that's too high. Ooh, okay, it's better. I'm gonna watch the next episode. Why am I so short? Okay, yeah, I can slouch now. I'm wearing my Enjoy Sky Blue shirt. Actual Magnus Archives merch. As I wear this often actually. I like this shirt. With some black jeans tucked in. I look like a stylish person, and no one seems to notice that it's Magnus Archives merch. But it's fine. So yeah, I'm limited on time because I'm like gonna leave for like a 2-hour train ride in like an hour. So I have like 50 minutes. I mean like 45 minutes. 45 minutes. I'll watch the next episode. I don't know if that's enough time for me to fully talk about it like I usually do. This episode's like 20 minutes, 24 minutes, 21 minutes. That's pretty good for a 40-minute like time span. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna say. I talked a lot last time. I don't think I need to like recap what happened. Like a bunch of shit happened. We basically got the most beloved info dumps of info dumps ever, and paired along with a very sad human story. And yeah. So yeah. I was wondering if this episode was on the list that I was given. It is on the list, bronze tier, but like I don't know why I'm even looking because I said I was gonna react to all of them. For some reason, there's like the next couple of episodes are on the list, but then there's like 2 episodes that aren't, that are like right before the final stretch, and I'm like, why is it like that? I'm highly doubtful that nothing happens during those episodes. It's like I think like 15 and 115 and 116 aren't on there, and I'm like, really? Those are like right before 117 and like the whole finale. So I'm like, I'll just react to everything. Okay. But yeah, I was rushing so much I didn't even put the title into my stream title. I'll do it while I'm watching. So yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's like a lot happened last time. I have like coffee. Just get into it and I'll fix the title along the way. I still have to pack my bag, which is also bad. Oh, Spotify, are you okay?
/Rusty Quill and take a look at our rewards.
Okay, I don't even know what the hell. Okay, you know how like the last couple of episodes the audio's been too quiet, like way too quiet, and I've turned up the gain like 5,000%. Why is it now like super loud? Why is it like normal? What the hell? Okay, I'll turn the gain back down. Cause like I upped it like 4 more decibels because of I guess I talked too loud I talked very loud last time. So let's see. I'm sorry if I deafened some people.
Patreon.com/Rusty Quill and take a look at our rewards.
Oh, why are my headphones like this? What is happening? Okay. Okay, it was at 1,000% and plus 10 decibels last time, and it was still too quiet. And now it's just normal. I don't understand. Okay, fine. How's that? Is it loud? Is that good? Is that fine?
Rusty
I can't match pitch.
The Magnus Archives.
Is Jonathan Sims louder than me? Let me listen to it on my computer. I'm talking over the cello.
Episode 112. Thrill of the Chase.
Oh my god. It's actually like... The sound of the episode actually like sounds audible. It's crazy by default. Why did they do this? Why is it like that? Why is my computer like that? Okay, whatever. Let me go back a little bit so I can hear Jonathan Sims say the thrill of the chase. That was my British accent for some reason. Okay. I'll add the title to the title.
Episode 112. Thrill of the Chase.
Got me when I forget how the song goes. It's still going strong, volume-wise. Okay.
Okay. Statement of Lisa Carmel regarding...
Well, I didn't even read the description.
The statement of Lisa Carmel regarding her involvement in a series of murders. Statement number 0111311.
Am I crazy?
13th
Basira?
November 2011. Basira Hussein recording.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Statement begins. Okay, I know how it sounds, but Murder Club wasn't supposed to be like this. It was just true crime stuff.
Good first line.
My boyfriend, well, my ex-boyfriend, he used to call it my serial killer fan club, which I'll admit doesn't make it sound a lot better. But you've got to believe there was no way any of us would have chosen to get involved in anything like what's happening. Except I guess that we did, somehow. I'm not a violent person, not at all. My sisters used to play fight when we were kids, and I'd end up crying in the corner. But for some reason, true crime never had that effect on me. Or maybe it did, but I kind of liked it when I could control it. I remember when I first got the taste. I stumbled across a book on famous murders that had somehow ended up in our school library. I read about Lizzie Borden,
Lovely.
feeling the breath catch in my throat, and I put the book away quickly before literally running out of the library. I didn't sleep at all that night, but I still went back to that book the next day. It's always scared me, that's the thing. I could never get into horror. Ghosts and monsters always left me bored. Even thrillers
Dang.
never really got me in the same way. There was just a part of me that always knew it wasn't real. It never happened. But true crime, the awful stuff that humans do to one another, that got me. I used to think it was about facing the darkness and coming to terms with my fear, or somehow honouring the victims, but it's not. It's just that there's a part of me that gets an awful little buzz from it.
There's a big
From
appeal
that
to
shudder that
true
goes through my body
crime
when I'm getting all the gory
to a lot
details
of people.
how someone died at the hands of a real-life human monster. Books, podcasts, documentaries, I went through all of them, and I still wanted more. And then I found Murder Club. Well, it's more that I founded Murder Club. Co-founded, at least. And Murder Club wasn't an official name or anything. It's just what we
I hope
called
not.
it. We all met through one of those meetup websites. I forget which one.
Why do I have this?
It was about 3 years ago, and I just moved to London, so I tended to trawl a bunch of them to try and find things to do, places I might make some new friends. This one was advertised as the first meeting of a true crime discussion and reading group. And as you might have guessed by now, that was right up my street. We met up,
Let's go.
had a great time discussing a book on Tilly Kilmec, and we decided to make it a regular event. Pretty soon,
True crime
Murder
is
Club was meeting
interesting,
up
but
every other week.
I'm not that
A
into
few of
this.
us wanted to do it weekly, but Jamie was a slow reader and didn't think he could keep up. We'd occasionally all see each other outside the regular meetings if we were watching a new documentary together or something like that. Once we even went on a day trip to the True Crime Museum in Hastings. Let's see. At the moment, it's me, Jamie Sanders, and Anya Kaleka, who we were all founding members. Then there's Ananya's wife, Evelyn, Andrew Cochran, who I invited him from work, and
Do I need to
Debbie
know these
Truss, who
names?
joined us about a year ago, though I don't remember where from. There used to be more, but people come and go. So,
In
6
what
of us at the
way?
moment. Well, suppose 3. Evelyn, Jamie, and Debbie are already dead, so I don't know how much you'd call them current members, but you know what I mean. I really don't know how it all
Can I
happened.
get a repeat on that? I think I heard it correctly,
So,
but
6 of us at the moment. Well, I suppose 3. Evelyn, Jamie, and Debbie are already dead, so I don't know how much you'd call them current members, but you know what I mean.
okay. That was
I
a
really
strange
don't
way
know
to
how
say
it all
that.
happened. This jump from morbid book club to actual murder came so quickly. This time last week, I was finishing up a memoir by a retired FBI profiler, getting ready for murder club the next evening. Now I'm here trying to explain things to you in case the others get to me. Probably putting you in danger as well, to be honest, so sorry about that. That was the meeting where everything went wrong. It was at my flat. I technically only have a room, with the
From the
rest of the
title
place shared
alone
between a
and
rotating cast of
continuing from what's
whatever
happening,
international students and burnouts my
I'm
landlord
getting
rents to.
big
But
hunt
that night I
vibes.
had the
The
flat
hunt.
mercifully to myself.
I can call it that now.
I opened the windows to let out the smell of smoke,
Maybe it's too loud.
turned on a small
Okay,
space
there
heater
we go.
to help with the chill, and laid out a couple of bottles of wine that I bought special. Jamie turned up first, as usual. He has an obvious crush on me, but he's also about 10 years older than I am. Was
Oh,
10 years older. And I just wasn't into him. Still, he was nice enough company, and we usually chat until the others arrive. Ananya and Evelyn were next, and then Debbie. Andrew was late, but it was because he'd been whiskey shopping, which he explained was apparently a thing. And he was in a sharing mood, so we managed to forgive him. We all had our little
Alcohol.
pre-club catch-up, talking about life and work and the state of the world. And we were just about to dive into the main discussion when there was another knock at the door. Oh. Oh, hey Daisy.
Come on.
what the fuck?
Kind of in the
Okay.
middle of something.
Well, finish up. Sims is back. Wants to talk to everyone.
Sims
What?
is back.
Since when?
Sims.
His flight got in a few hours ago.
That's
And
what
he
we call
called
him.
No.
Since when?
Elias sent me to pick him up. Didn't want him grabbed again.
Again?
I guess
you
that's
come
what
in?
you
Well,
call
not
him.
yet. I've got to finish up here first. You go on ahead,
Ooh. So,
Daisy.
we're gonna get
Fine.
some John action at the end of this episode.
Where was I? Right, okay.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe
The
it's gonna
statement
pick
continues.
up the... What was it?
We were just about to dive into the main discussion when there was another knock at the door. There was a quick look of confusion that passed between us.
Okay, maybe I'm an idiot, but I forgot exactly. Joey told us about like something Gertrude left behind. Was it? It was something at the institute, right? And that's why John said he had to go back. But now I've forgotten it completely. For some reason, I got completely caught up in writing down the names that I completely forgot what the actual present day plot was. Okay, I'll look it up like right now.
And my heart sank. I was assuming one of my flatmates had returned earlier than
Why is
planned.
Genshin Impact on my
I
phone?
was dreading an awkward Lithuanian math student sitting in the corner
Okay,
of the class.
Okay. Because, I've accidentally button installed Genshin Impact from an ad, from a Nico B, from a... no, this is completely irrelevant. But, you see that? It's a Nico B video, and there was Genshin Impact, and there's an install button, and then like on the elevator up, I looked down and it said like install without Wi-Fi, and I'm like, what? And then I like exited out, and then I was like, why is Genshin Impact on my phone? Okay, be gone. Okay, I was going to look up.
Staring at us
Okay.
as we self-consciously talked about decomposition rates and timelines.
You guys,
But those worries vanished.
You
as
can have
soon as
hobbies,
Jamie
I'm
opened the
sorry.
door. The person who stood on the other side of it was definitely not one of my flatmates. The first thing I noticed was the height. They were well over 6 foot, and the top of their head disappeared above the door. The second thing was the mask. Pure white polystyrene and cut into the rough shape of some kind of demon or wolf. The third thing I noticed was the knife. Jamie noticed it too, and leapt backwards just as the figure lunged towards him. Suddenly everything was moving. Everyone was on their feet, shouting as the figure lumbered clumsily inside, swinging wildly at everyone who got near. I dashed to the small kitchen and reached for a knife of my own, never taking my eyes off my target. It was a strange thing to watch. I would have expected everyone to be running. Evelyn and Debbie both had a clear path to the open door, but instead we were all just watching, keeping as much distance as possible, occasionally making a motion to disarm him, staying just out of the blade's path. As I reached for another knife, I found myself tapping my foot as if to music. Our attacker was starting to slow now, his movements becoming laboured.
Like, wasn't that like Wolfman like whistling or something?
When he swung at Andrew, his blade went too wide and he overbalanced.
Am I crazy?
And Anya didn't waste a second, dropping down and kicking him hard in the back of the knee.
That was like the war piper, but that's different.
He fell like an ancient tree, and his head slammed into the corner of the old wooden coffee table with a nasty thud. It tore through the thin grey string that held the mask in place. He lay there motionless. The face underneath was nothing special. Bald man,
just a guy?
40 years old.
Dang, okay.
None of us knew him. He wasn't an infamous murderer or someone with a personal vendetta. He was just a man who came to my home to kill us. Everyone had gone very quiet, but it wasn't like a
hunter man,
of shock or
it seems.
It was more like a heavy silence of waiting for something to happen. Of expectation.
Some odd behavior is going on here.
We should call the police, but she was lying and we all knew it. I looked down at my hands and realised I'd picked up 6 knives from the kitchen drawer.
6 knives?
2 were chef's knives. 3 were
How do you hold 6 knives?
1 was a battered old bread knife. All of them were sharp enough to do the job, even if I still hadn't quite figured out what the job was. I walked slowly over to the unconscious figure on the floor.
This whole hunt thing seems to spread.
Expecting their prize. I swear Anya was licking her lips. When I reached them, they all turned to stare at the blades in my hand.
Infectious,
it
seems.
Whichever knife spoke to them. I ended up with a vegetable knife, one of the smaller ones, but wickedly sharp. I can show it to you if you like.
No thanks.
We all stared at each other for a long few seconds, waiting, like there was going to be some invisible signal. And apparently there was, because all at once we descended, stabbing and slicing and carving and cutting, blood dripping and spraying up in tiny bursts as our knives worked on him. I don't know exactly when he died. Maybe he was dead already when his head hit the table. Doesn't matter. Makes no difference to what happened. When it was over, we just stood there, satisfied, basking in what we'd done. Like the warm glow of an approving parent tinged with bloody sweetness. Or the feeling after a heavy but delicious meal where you want nothing more than to sit and enjoy how full you feel. When Andrew suggested he get rid of the body, no one thought to object. He and Jamie dragged it out, I assume to his car, and that was that. I guess they must have gotten rid of it. The police certainly haven't come round asking about a corpse. Not that I'd know if they had, I guess.
Oops, I'm sorry, I'm reading the last summary.
He and Jamie dragged it out, I assume to his car, and that was that. I guess they must have gotten rid of it. The police certainly haven't come round asking about a corpse.
Got rid of it somehow.
Not that I'd know if they had, I guess.
Did they use the soap chemical? The soap bath chemical?
They didn't need to say goodbye. They didn't need to say anything. We understood each other perfectly. I wandered dreamily into my bedroom and fell onto my bed. I was woken up by a pounding on my door. It was Mattis, my flatmate, clearly angry and not a little alarmed at the mess in the living room.
It's bloody!
His face went pale when he saw I was streaked with gore, and he just kept asking, "Is it blood? Is it blood?" I didn't really know what to say to this, so I just nodded and I took a few steps backwards. Then he turned and walked away unsteadily. I thought about following him, trying to explain what had happened at Murder Club. But there didn't seem much point. Poor Mattis would never understand. Beth
Yeah.
he could only watch from the sidelines, getting a sad, vicarious thrill from crimes he was too cowardly to even consider. But I was better than that. I am better than that. I'm
Okay.
beyond.
Hunter
I went back into my room to change
got a
into
real
clean clothes.
here.
There was
Still
no
a
need to
hunter, it
announce my
seems.
intentions to the world, and the others would certainly be waiting. I took my small knife and tucked it away. I thought about testing it on Mattis, but there was no way he would have been able to understand what was happening. I first paid a visit to Andrew's house up near Hampstead, where I was told by his upset mother that he wasn't home. She said he had left abruptly and had shoved her aside when she asked where he was going. As she said this, I spun around, suddenly afraid I'd left myself open, but the street was empty. I didn't even notice Andrew's mother slamming the door.
Constantly vigilant, it seems.
I retreated to the shade of a tree to think about my next move. For some reason, the memory of the whiskey shop that Andrew had talked about the day before pushed into my head. So I smiled and took off at a sprint. I'm sure it would have been quicker to take the underground or a bus, but I craved that run through the cold November air, my blood pumping and my teeth sharp. I arrived at the small Camden whiskey shop too late. Andrew wasn't there, but apparently Debbie and Jamie had had the same idea as me, and they'd met outside the shop. If I were a betting woman, I'd have put money on Debbie, and I'd have been right. She was the sort of bid with real strength behind it, and she had used it to put her bread knife all the way through Jamie's throat. She looked up from the body and saw me, and as soon as our eyes met, I knew the chase was on, and this time I was the prey. I fled, ducking through alleyways and market stalls as she ran after me. She had the edge and strength, but I was quick and
This
found it
tall
easier to
man with
slip
a
through the
mask
morning
just
crowd.
really walked in and said,
I had a close call.
"The
with
Hunger
Camden Market, but I
Games
managed to
has
lose
begun."
sight, disappearing up towards Holloway. And the last 5 days have been more of that. I caught Evelyn alone 2 days ago on a bridge near Leytonstone. She almost threw me into the traffic below, but instead I stabbed her 4 times in the chest and my little vegetable blade found her heart. Andrew managed to lure Debbie into an ambush just outside my flat of all places, even though I haven't been back since the last murder club. Which I rather think will have been the last murder club. And I was thinking yesterday
Probably.
how strange all this was. And
Probably.
it occurred to me that, while it might seem ridiculous, maybe there was something supernatural about all this. Maybe the
Really?
chase isn't as normal as it feels. Before we killed that man, I don't think any of this would have felt right. So I thought I'd come and talk to you before it all comes to an end. So, sorry if Andrew or Ananya attack anyone here because they saw me come in. I don't think they will. They're usually pretty careful, but still. I think that's all of it, really. I'm probably going to leave now, try to hunt down my friends. It's weird, you know? I don't remember feeling this way when we first set up Murder Club. But I suppose at least we don't have to change the name.
Stop.
Statement ends.
Okay.
Damn. I remember this
Damn.
case. It was a bit before my time, but yeah. 6, friends. They basically spent about 2 weeks murdering each other before the last survivor was finally caught. Ananya Kaleka was apprehended just after she cut Lisa Carmel's throat in an alleyway near East Croydon Station. The way the other officers told it, she never said a word except to plead guilty and died in her cell a few months later. Apparently she just stopped. I don't know anything about any assailant in a mask, though. That's not a part of the story I've ever heard before.
Oh yeah, because on the police force, it makes sense. She heard about it, I guess. Oh, she said it was before her time, but like from what she heard, that makes me wonder: was killing the rest of the people that were in the room with her when they killed that man? Was that the end of like her being possessed by the hunt, and after she had accomplished that goal, she lost purpose? And then, or she was like overcome by the weight of what she'd done, or she lost that drive. Is that what happened, or is it something? That's my guess, because when I think of people, but there's like people like Trevor and Julia, and they like still have a goal, like they want to kill monsters and stuff. They're still pursuing that goal, but I guess since there will always be monsters, like they're still going to like continue, but at least maybe for the last member of Murder Club, after everyone in Murder Club was dead, there was no goal after that. There was very like applications of the hunt. That's what I was gonna say. Is that correct terminology? Are applications of the hunt like specific to the person? Well, it makes sense because like the people, well, at least like for Julia and Trevor, it's like very like specialized on something related to them, which they have like a reason to want to hunt. Well, like, or at least they have a past like formative experiences surrounding what their goal is as like what is called as avatars of the hunt. Well, and that's like how any entity works. It's like people like are involved or possessed by these entities, but it's in a way that's like specialized to like their psyche and stuff. So yeah, but it makes me wonder if like after that, that's what happened, and that's why she pleaded guilty and all that.
You don't get a great description in this statement, but it might be worth checking missing persons for that period. Checking any violent offenders that might have disappeared. Come in, Daisy.
You done?
Yeah, let's go.
No need.
Um,
He's gone. Heading over to some storage unit. Says it's
Yeah.
important.
Was the key for the
Oh.
storage unit? Oh yeah.
so are we going to meet
Now
him
I
there,
remember.
or-
I was
He
trying to
asked
look
for someone to
because it wasn't in the general summary because it was too specific probably, but it was. I was trying to look through the transcript, and then I started like missing stuff, so I put the transcript down and just continued listening to the episode. Now I remember because Jerry, I keep trying to say the funny pronunciation, but like Jared. Why do you pronounce Jared and Gerard differently, British people? No, it's just the Reddit keeps making fun of it. But yeah, Jerry said that like there was a key at the archives, and John was like, oh my god, I remember that key, I just freaking forgot about it. And then he's like, yeah, that's the key to the storage unit where Gertrude's stuff was in. I forgot exactly what it was, but it was stuff to stop the unknowing. But yeah, okay, now I remember. And now he's like, give me a key, and he said bye. God damn it. Okay, bye, John.
Be back. Distract Elias a bit. I said we'd do it.
Both of us.
Distract Elias.
Couldn't find Tim, but he's gone with Martin and the other one.
Melanie.
Sure.
The other one?
I mean,
Come on.
It might be dangerous.
They'll be fine.
Where are they going? Wait,
Is there something wrong, Daisy?
No.
let me go. Wait.
So, the other one. And
Oh. So are we going to meet him there, or...?
he asked for someone to stay back. Distract Elias a bit.
So they're gonna
Said we
distract
do it.
Elias,
Both
these
of
two.
us.
Yeah.
Both of them. And did everyone else go with him? Or, because the way they mentioned, like, they said Tim's with Martin and Melanie, right? So where are they going? Are they also going to the storage unit? That'd be great. That'd be teamwork. Well, like, Jonathan Sims never does that. He's always going off by himself doing what the hell ever. Getting cool statements. Okay, let's just keep going.
Tim, but he's gone with Martin and the other one.
Melanie.
Yeah, Martin and Melanie.
Sure.
Interesting.
I mean, it might be dangerous.
They'll be fine.
Is there something wrong, Daisy?
No.
Well, there's a lot of things wrong.
So, how's your new job? Working a lot of overtime?
It's, alright, I guess. Once you get used to constantly feeling like you're being watched, it's just a bit of low-level dread. Kind of peaceful. Been reading a lot. How about you?
Elias is keeping me busy. Hunting. Takes a while. I'm used to working with a partner. It's fine.
Oh.
Daisy.
It's fine.
Right. But it's not though, is it?
You're getting comfortable with all those books. Don't forget why you're here.
I know where I am, Daisy. And I know that I'm a prisoner.
And you want to escape.
Yeah. But not on my own. We're
Make
working
sure
on something.
you don't have
I'll
Stockholm
ask Melanie to fill
syndrome.
you in. Fine.
I home syndrome.
Maybe you could ask Elias if you can join me on a case.
Oh.
How does it feel?
What?
How does it feel when you make a kill?
I don't know. Good.
People,
Why?
I don't know. It doesn't feel like the warm glow of an approving parent, tinged with a bloody sweetness.
Don't.
What?
Not one of your bloody puzzles.
Oh, I'm sorry.
it's not a puzzle, that's a quote.
I worry.
Worry about yourself.
Daisy and the
I'm
Hunt.
fine.
People, yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, oh my
You
god.
look-
Yeah, like ever since, it's like a quote. She said it. No, wait, did she? I don't know. No, she didn't say it. No, it was, I'm thinking of the Michael Crew episode where he gave a statement and she shot him in the head or something. I'm like, did she say the word hunt? Like, I feel like at one point she did say the word hunt. Like, I don't know. Well, it's obvious that, like, Julia, I'm maybe confusing it with Julia saying that, but did Daisy say that? Because people have been theorizing that because Daisy hunts monsters, like even before, like, Julia and, like, Trevor talked about it, like, Daisy has been the, like, big fat monster killer, like, this entire time. So, and people are like, I think she's one of those hunty people. I think the hunt's got her in the grasp. That's, and yeah, and Basira's like, I ever feel the warm glow of a something parent.
Are you sleeping?
Yeah? Do you still have the dreams?
No, not really. Not since we joined up here, I don't think. You?
Yeah.
They're getting worse.
No, not. It's just... Doesn't matter.
Do I know about these
We need to
dreams?
decide what to do with Elias before the others get to Hainault.
Daisy,
I'm thinking a fire.
maybe something a bit subtler. A problem in the break room.
I could beat someone up.
Maybe. Anyway, do you want to, I could do with some air.
Interesting. That didn't take that long. And I don't think I have
The
that
Magnus
much to
Archives
talk
is a
about.
podcast distributed by Rusty Quill,
So,
licensed under
I
a
guess I
Creative
can tag.
Commons Attribution Non-Commercial
I would like to
Share-alike
watch more, though.
4.0 international license. Today's episode was written by Jonathan Sims and directed by Alexander J. Newell. To subscribe, view associated material, or join our Patreon, visit rustyquill.com.
I don't think we knew any of those
Review us
people
online,
from the episode.
Tweet us at The Rusty Quill. Visit us on
Isn't that
Facebook
crazy?
or email us at mail@rustyquill.com. Join our communities on the forum via the website or on Reddit at r/the Magnus Archives. Thanks for listening.
Stop ads. Okay. Yeah, what exactly did Jared say was in Jerry? What did he say was in the storage vault? Let me look up key. Not key as in Keay, but key. A key. Rented it under the name storage unit. Rented it under Jan Kelly. Yeah, whatever she thought would stop the ritual. Okay, nothing that specific. She's just the ritual stopping stuff. Okay. So what happened this episode? A tall, masked man walked into her apartment and then they're suddenly all like strategic killers, and they're like pacing around the room going like, ooh, enemy, and then they kill this guy. And then they maim this guy, all of them, and then they start hunting each other, one by one, and then, yeah. And then they're very mad with the hunt. Wait, who said that? Mad with the hunt. Some people mad with the hunt. Did Elias say that about Daisy? Is that why? I knew there was someone like directly correlated Daisy with the hunt. I thought it was herself, but maybe it was Elias, which would make a lot of sense because he's like aware of that stuff. Except the thrill of the chase. Yeah. There's like a lot of people are interesting that I guess funny first true crime-ish episode where it's like people are Magnus Archives has people from all walks of life, and now we get one where someone is very interested in true crime. If people are like generally interested in true crime because I guess my theory is not correct, but just like my guess is that like people like hearing about like people like trying to understand like the human psyche, especially like in its like darkest moments, because it's like so hard for people to understand that like even getting like a taste of like understanding that darkness or like trying to get into the mind of a killer is like it's enthralling to them because it's a puzzle. It's like what is this, you know? For most people it's very far removed from them, that kind of like thought process where you murder people. So it's like it's so far away that's so interesting, you know, but it's still human, and that's the part of it that's like grabs people, you know. It's like, oh, a person could do this, you know. So like a lot of people, like most people, have some interest, or like when they hear about true crime, it's like there's a brain tickle there. But it's like, I don't know about to the point where it's be like, let's discuss body decomposition stuff. Like that's not really on like the interest list that I would think of when thinking of what people are interested in with true crime. I don't know. You know, people can have their hobbies. I have no judgment for this murder club. It's just unfortunate that I guess your knowledge about this kind of like body murder maiming thing was so was such a I don't know, a good opportunity for the hunt to get in on, you know. It's like, I guess exploring the darker parts of humanity gets you a big old entity vulnerability. It seems. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like when the normal person walked in, I was like, "Are you covered in blood?" And she's like, "Yeah." It's like, this guy doesn't understand. And I'm like, you guys are really, really under it right now. I mean, like, at least, well, I don't know. I guess because the targets were monsters, like Julia and Trevor Herbert? Yeah, why did I call him by his last name? It was because they're hunting monsters, they seem very, like, reasonable in the human sense, probably because they're very blasé, I guess, about their monster murders. Just like this person was blasé about her human murder, but I guess since they're like monsters, it's like it comes across as less disturbing and off-putting when they just talk about it casually. It's because they're technically doing good for the world, even though that's very much, it doesn't seem like that's their goal. It's the whole like hunt madness thing. Me when I pick up 6 knives and I get like, how do you hold all of the knives at this, like in a giant grip? How thick are knives? I don't know. She still has a level of sanity, realize something supernatural has happened to us. It's like, but I can't change the way my psyche is right now. But I'm sane enough to recognize that this was not the norm before that man walked into the room. Which is, I can applaud you for that, being like possessed by like an evil fear god and still being aware enough to give some sort of statement. Mm-hmm. In the mask, Basira is kind of on it. She's so she's really on the whole like detective shit. Like she really knows what she really likes to connect the dots, and it's like maybe we could find this masked man if we looked at like police reports and different kinds of things. And then like before she was talking about that guy with the comet, and I think that like a scientist, two like scientist guys, and like connecting it with like Nialasund or whatever it's called, and like the darkness cult and like the rituals, and like she really likes putting things together. I mean, she's like a detective, so it makes detective or I don't know exactly what police rank or whatever she was. Daisy, John is going to return to London. Distract Elias. Daisy's dreams. Did we hear about Daisy's dreams before? I know she had a traumatic experience where like I'm pretty sure a kid was like killed right in front of her. I think that's what happened by like this weird, I don't know, darkness entity or like a death entity, or it was like he was already dead, or I don't know. Okay, so yeah, she did say she did separate what John's doing from what she said a different group for Martin, Melanie, and Tim, which I'm glad Tim's back in the loop. Like he's not obsessing over. He probably is obsessing over the circus, but this is probably just another step on his way to get that done. But it seems that they. Because that's what distract Elias. They're probably working on their plan to free themselves from Elias, which I don't know how that's gonna work, guys. I hope it goes well, but I'm scared that this is not the best idea right now. I don't know. Oh. Oh, John has taken the others to look at the storage unit. So yeah, John did ask them to distract Elias. Okay, so they're not doing their own separate thing. They're going with John because Basira also asked before. I'm bad. I don't know what's going on. No, but Basira asked before. So are we just gonna meet him there then? And then Daisy was like, no, John asked us to distract him. So yeah, okay. So they're going. I don't know why we need to like. I don't know. Does Elias? I know Elias has some weird restrictions on what he wants us to know and what he wants us to not know. So maybe that's what's going on, or like maybe he doesn't want us. Well, I guess him being not involved would be better for us, just in case he does. He's like, I don't like that. Stop or something. But yeah, and then like Daisy was. You know, it's obvious that Daisy like Mrs. Basira hunting with her, but yeah, but also Daisy's concerned about Basira, and he's like, Basira, you're too chill. Stop being so chill. You're literally being held hostage. And then Basira's like, yeah, I know. We're working on it. We're gonna set ourselves free. It's fine. I still wanna get out of here. Yeah. So interesting. I need to pack like right now. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. So yeah, clearing that up. Yeah. So they're just going to the storage unit as a team. Yay, friendship. I hope no one dies or something. I don't know. Whatever's in this little storage vault. We're gonna go like cause like a maintenance issue, I guess, to distract Elias, because he has to focus on one thing. He can't look at the other things when he's focusing. Distract Elias. I wonder what Elias would do, because I know Elias killed some people and he killed Gertrude and stuff like that, but it seems that he's on our side about the current predicament regarding the unknowing, so I'm interested in why. Well, usually I guess we shouldn't let bad guys know what we're doing, but I'm interested. And also Gertrude was kind of an enemy against him. So like maybe we shouldn't let Gertrude's stuff that she had hidden in the vault like get into his knowledge, you know. So that makes sense. she was working against him in some way, so maybe there's something against, like, the Eye in there, or, like, the Watcher's Crown thing that's coming next, it seems. So I guess that makes sense. But yeah, in terms of the Unknowing, it seems he's on our side. That's why I'm so reluctant to act against him before we have the Unknowing stopped, you know? But I guess maybe if we stop the Unknowing soon, I guess at the end of the season, then our plan to get rid of ourselves of Elias's control can like go into full swing, like, after, maybe, or we could just do it now and shit will happen, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. Cool episode, bunch of fookity-fooks about what's gonna happen next. But yeah, I need to go now, right now. So yeah, like, signing off into the next dimension. Nobody will be there, and yeah, see you for the next episode. 113. I might read it, so I better get my reaction to the next episode's description on now, so that I'm not robbing you guys of content. Breathing room. Adler Decker. Breathing room. Decker, was he that guy? No, was he was in multiple mentioned in multiple is that either the guy who was stuck in the crate forever or the guy who was losing all his fingers and limbs and stuff? Adler Decker. Decker sounds familiar. Adler Decker sounds really familiar. I think he might be that guy. I'll bring it up. I'll look more in depth about it and talk about it next stream. Adler Decker. I feel like he collected stuff, didn't he? Collected a bunch of random crazy shit, like supernatural shit. And maybe he was just like a gang guy. He was like a gang boss or like a rich illegal activities guy. Nefarious or something. I don't know. I think he had connections to those stories with these violent, not violent, but kind of illegal activity, shady business stuff. I think it. And then when that guy got out of the crate, and was that Lucas? I think there's ground stuff. What, the Buried? That's what they're called. I know the name now. Yeah, and it's called Breathing Room, so it might be claustrophobia stuff. Interesting. Okay, I'll see you next time for that.